Alrighty, welcome back, guys. It's time to jump into our second series of the evening. And oh boy, here we go. Strap yourselves in, because it's going to be the Guangzhou Charge going up against the LA Valiant. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what is going to happen. We've already had a massive surprise in our first series with Fusion taking down the Shanghai Dragons 3-0. Now, what do we got on the plate here going into map 2? What are you what are you expecting, I think, here, Avril, going into this series?
Oh my goodness. This is like maybe the first time I'm truly excited to cast and watch an LA Valiant game, because last year, like you said, we probably did, I counted, we did the most LA Valiant games, and I'm going to claim this, as the analyst in this duo as well. I think right now at this stage, I'm like the world's foremost expert on the LA Valiant, and again, by the way, that's going to happen because we have, 14 out of 24 of the Valiant matches this year is going to be handled by us, so we're going to be Valiant experts through and through. Yep. But their squad is actually kind of boggers this time around, like really cool. Noah Hill leading the charge as the head coach, and if you don't know Noah Hill, he is infamous. He is probably one of the most, winningest Tier 2 coaches that we had in recent history. He's part of that Team CC super team that had Dia in it, that a bunch of the Valiant roster has been built around. They have the CC core of players coming on through, and that's a really exciting thing. You have Sashin coming back as well after taking a big-ass hiatus from the Hangzhou Spark. Don't know what happened there, but he's back in action now. Becky, who comes in from Contenders. Lengsa, who just had a winning record on Team Chaser. Coldus, who just came in from the Hangzhou Sparks. So it's a bit of a mishmash of a roster. Funny enough, the Valiant also have 5 DPS players, so they're not hurting in that regard.
Yeah, they've got a hell of a lot of firepower that they can utilize at any given time. We'll see what swaps may be made throughout this series right here. But that's the Valiant out of the way and introduced. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Guangzhou Charge. And there they are. I love that we can always kind of rely on the Guangzhou Charge to put up some nice hype videos for us, introduce the roster. I love that they have that, and they continue to do that year over year. But here's the starting 5 for the Guangzhou Charge. Got Development Choice A1 there in the DPS positions. Rio coming out as a tank, unique and far away. Most recent pickup for the squad there in support.
Absolutely, and yeah, you probably have heard the whole Chengdu storyline where their team roster size got cut down significantly, just down to the minimum of 6 now, so one of the casualties of that was Far Away, who's found himself on a new team here with the Charge, and he's actually playing instead of Molly, so I wonder what the meta read here is. Is he going to be on Zenyatta, or is he just going to be playing the Ana, which is Molly's signature pick anyway? Choice F1 playing in the opening game is huge for this team because he was actually out with an injury for most of the preseason. He's actually going to be starting today, so he's ready to go. He's like the star player on the team, right? So very important for the Charge, very important for this specific meta, and Develop newly joining this team from the Shanghai Dragons as well. Excited to finally see him play instead of just riding the bench.
Well, here is our map set going into this series. We were going to start things off with Coliseum. Then we will take a good old look at Route 66, Eichenwald, maybe get to Ilios and New Queen Street if this goes beyond a 3-map set.
So one of the key heroes, I think, for especially push and control maps in this particular meta is going to be the Tracer. Genji, as we know, is a fan favorite pick, or maybe a team favorite pick as well. So far, that along with the Soldier. So Develop Soldier, Choice in 1 Tracer probably will be the line of play unless Choi really wants to go on the Genji, which he's also known for. I think he probably was one of the key Genji plays in the 2021 year when Genji basically wasn't played at all at Ilios. I mean, Guangzhou were one of the few teams seriously forcing out the Genji, and now Choi gets to play Genji in an actual Genji meta. Sashin, as we know, is a Zarya player. That's his signature hero. He gets to run out with that straight away on Coliseum.
All right, well, out the gates here we go. A bit more Genji action. Becky going to be looking to show that the Reaper can, in fact, work. And that flat out was just a fluke in that first map of the last series. Everybody going to be meeting in the middle, though. Let's see who is going to be able to draw first blood.
Not actually even really go for the push bot just yet. You see, Charge's strategy is to take the sort of fountain area first, make sure they have the flank control. Becky frontlining again. To get value out of this Reaper, you need to be punishing that Rio Winston. Early baronet from Coldest catches double. That's going to force charge back.
All right, well, bot unlocked, able to move. Push is going to begin here. It's Valiant. First one's onto it. So working it forward here. Dive into the back, Rio looking for a kill. It's perfectly timed by Choice A1. They get straight in on top of Coldest. Anti is out onto Sashin as well. We'll be able to clean up a couple kills here, trying to wrest control away from the side of the Valiant. Dia has managed to pick up 2 kills, however. Both DPS now falling on the side of the charge, and he's going to get a third. Unique is dead. Dia is just taking over the lobby right now. Nano slept, but seems like he's relatively safe. No one getting in on top of him. He'll make his exit. In the meantime, Becky's killed off far away.
I mean, Dia's like basically 1vx that situation. Welcome back to the Overwatch League, by the way, Dia. Last seen on the Shanghai Dragons in what year was it? 2019, I think was his last season. Didn't even really get to play. I think the one map that he played one map where he drew, but as otherwise, you know, hasn't had the best record ever in the Overwatch League. Even though Shanghai came back with a big year, Dia wasn't really part of it. Now he gets to have his time in the Overwatch League, and it starts out beautifully with a 3K.
Develop, flanking around the back, trying to put some damage there into Sashin. Now the Nano gonna come through. He's looking for a kill, but gets slept, woken up quickly, but is quickly put to bed yet again as Becky finishes him off with that nice little Death Blossom. One able to find Dia. That's about it here so far from the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Looking like they're on struggle street.
They're getting towards ultimates though, importantly, so they'll have the first Death Blossom come on through successfully for the LA Valiant. Now that's out of the picture. We'll look towards the other ultimates online, that are coming online, I should rather say, for the Charge, and they want to get in because Sashin's on 1 HP. My goodness, he barely survives, but they lose all the space.
Keep them topped up here for the time being. Continued harassment coming out as this gets chunked in between these bubble timings. Massive ult farm coming up though. The side of the Guangzhou Charge, Unique 20% away from having that sound barrier, and there's Dia getting unleashed, instantly finds Unique and Develop. Will finally be slept, but it is far too late from far away. Look to get the finishing blow here, but cannot make it happen. Dia wakes up, gets the headshots through. It's going to be a lot of distance bought now for the side of the Valiant, who are starting things off with a right foot forward.
I mean, Dia's had 6 final blows now, and both of those 3s came through from 2 back-to-back 3Ks, right? So brilliant stuff from Dia so far, putting the team on his shoulders and having a lot of support there as well. Definitely the star player of this team coming into the brand new season with the LA Valiant. Still yet to see Charge take a good fight here. They have a Blade online, waiting for the Nano. Sasha's nearly got a grab. Might even just solo grab Choi, honestly, when he goes in.
So one just fishing for some early damage here, waiting to pull the Blade. Just around the side. But now, occupy the cart. Dia opens things, finds far away before he can use the Nano boost. Now the Blade comes out. Choice A1 look to try to drag this back into their favor. 2 quick kills for him. Seems like it has worked a treat. Dia, the last one standing, laying it back over with the rest to join in with the rest of the team. The bot finally going to be controlled here by the side of the Guangzhou Charge. How far can they make it though before the recontest comes in? That is the question.
You have to wait for far away as well, and well, like the name says, he is pretty far away at the moment. He did get solo grab by Sashin last fight. Good threat assessment by Choice of One to recognize, okay, grab's off the table, they don't have a sound barrier, it's my time to shine, and they'll win a fight off that one. This one's going to have to be I was going to say Nano, or probably Rio or Develop with Unique down. They have to reset.
That they do. So only get it pushed 19 meters here compared to the 50. Bot making his way back over, and a bit of an awkward position here, but no, maybe not. Actually do manage to find 2 quick kills. Lynx and Becky both can be eliminated. Develop trying to just hound down Dia. Doesn't quite manage to make it happen, but Rio off screen will find that kill inevitably. And with that extended team kill, there's the words I'm looking for, team kill coming through, they can finally start pushing yet again.
I gotta say, that's a huge fight win for the Charge because it did not look favored for them. It was a 4v5. Unique was taken down, and Dia had high ground control as well. But brilliant pickups from the Guangzhou Charge means they get to maintain payload control. The most important thing here is to not have the push bot reset. Rio's gonna dive in and Develop follows up. Ooh, Becky's all cancelled.
Yeah, point blank kill. It's that kill there onto Becky. Like you said, the Death Blossom going to be completely canceled. Just trying to use it right in on top of his face, and he falls flat for it. Now taking the lead, the Guangzhou Charge. Starting to stretch a little bit further here with 3 minutes remaining left in the map. Choice A1 finds one. There's the Nano out. Dia dropping to the low ground. Still low on health. He's trying to get this kill into Unique and finally manages to make it happen, but they've lost 2 members at the same time. So even though he comes up with that kill onto the Lucio, everybody else just falling by the wayside here on the side of the LA Valiant.
I mean, again, just brilliant stuff in terms of pacing there. Rio goes in, Choi follows, Choi and Develop follow up, Develop 1v1s, Becky just completely annihilates him. Coldest will pull one back, but we've seen Charge win a 4v5 before. This one will be a little bit tougher though, because high ground control in favor of the Valiant. Here they go. And they just take the payload away. Okay, well, Charge, I think they just completely reset one. Weren't interested at all in the 4v5, and you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, push forward, they get a good amount of distance here. They've got a 24-meter stretch over top of the Valiant. Now they're looking to take the fight to them right here in the center of the map and shut them down. Gold is going to get dropped there. Helix Rockets from Develop looking good as Rio goes bananas with that Primal Rage. So they shift them off the high ground, but he has overstepped. Good damage focus comes through from the side of the Valiant. They punish the Monkey. Zewan, though, still as deadly as ever. Finds a pick up on Sashi, so exchange on the tanks. Blade's gonna be pulled, he goes in deep, but the swipe is good. Finds Dia, looks for a little bit more. Sets up for the kill there onto Lengza, and Becky will fall. Just like that, the Guangzhou Charger now can get even more distance added onto this.
Yeah, I mean, so they definitely get the payoff for falling back there, regrouping with Farway, get the pushes 5 again, play the Blade, don't even need the Nano there. Choice of one just farms, and now that we do have the Nano, you can pair that up with this Visor. 85 meters, by the way, is beginning to become insurmountable for the LA Valley, especially because there's no time left.
Alright, Sound Barrier comes down from Lengza just to try to outlast Develop's Pack Visor, but he still gets the damage through. The focus is looking good as they come up with 3 quick kills. Unique finding 2 of them for himself. Farway in the meantime just sitting back on the bot, continues to have this push forward as they yet again find an extended team kill here.
Time is really getting pulled now. I mean, we're looking at 1 minute remaining. You're looking at the fact that 120 meters, you basically can't come back from that. Guangzhou Chargers need to make sure they're not going to throw this. They need to make sure they're not going to make any big mistakes here. Valiant have only got this grab to play through, and it probably isn't going to be enough. Unique can just sound barrier that one as well.
Dia
will just frag. Excuse me, Dia, what?
Okay, he will finally go down, but not before Becky puts another one on top. Farway in his dying breath will finish off the Soldier, but they have done still a significant amount of damage here as far as how much they've gotten the push here on this cart.
OT about to be triggered. I mean, LA Valley had to win every single fight from here on outwards. They have ultimates to play through, but they can't have anybody die because the respawn reinforcement distance is humongous. To actually get back into the fight if you go down is ridiculous, and no one's on the payload right now, by the way, so they need to make sure they're still touching. Sashin goes back in. We're still waiting for the scrap play.
Let's see if the Death Blossom can find anything here. Becky being forced away. Bot starting to shift forward over time. Starting to tick here. Finding some progress, but the Death Blossom is not going to find a damn thing. Rio, though, does get put to bed, and Lengza comes up with a kill. Nano Boost now going to be thrown out here onto the Reaper as he goes charging forward, looking for some targets, but everybody just runs away. He's going to try to TP up into their faces, trying desperately to get on top of Unique, and Unique actually kind of delivers himself to death. He's end up falling. The bot now makes it to the next checkpoint, has to take his little smoke break for a second there, and then he'll begin to progress yet again.
Still 2 ultimates to play through here. I mean, LA Valiant, they might actually be a team that could get this OT push done, but I dare say they have to probably still win up to 2 more fights in a row. 120 meters is still 40 away. Here come those ultimates. It's going to be a Nano versus the Visor.
If dive goes through, it is just an absolute cluster right now. Choi Se-wan, though, finding one of the supports to Develop falling. Now Dia out of the mix, though. That's going to be the lion's share of their damage on the side of the Valiant. They forced them off the bot for long enough to go ahead and pick up the win. Hard fought, though, very back and forth with Valiant kicking things off nicely, but the Guangzhou Charge managed to wrest control away from them, and they will go ahead and take the first map in this series.
I mean, to really put in perspective how much work Dia was trying to do for the Valiant there, he actually got a deadlift. 12 total eliminations from him out of the entire LA Valiant's 22 eliminations. He got 12 out of 22 there. He actually did put the team on his back. Choi on the other end got 15 out of 33, so Choi nearly got his own deadlift, but Dia 100% deadlifted there. Unfortunately, though, as I said, trying to push an OT is basically, in my opinion, not really possible on push. You kind of can't win an OT. You simply have to win too many fights in a row. The respawn advantage is on the other team. It's working against you. So if you get to the stage where you're OT, you have to push to 120 meters, I mean, try as you might, the map's going to work against you.
Yeah, put a fork in it. Well, it's still a good little, I think, breath of fresh air overall for the side of the Valiant here. Tezande looking like he has plenty to cheer for this season. We'll see if they can answer back, look just as strong as they did at the beginning of this map, as we do get ready to move forward into map number 2. That is going to be Route 66. It's coming up in just a few minutes, guys, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. We are just about to go into map number 2 here in our second series of the APAC 2022 season. Lots of twos going on, but it is the Guangzhou Charge who managed to come out with a win to kick things off. That might not surprise necessarily a lot of people if they haven't been paying attention to some of the roster swaps and whatnot, but Valiant, they did put up a pretty good effort there. That early control on push, but got wrested away from them in the end by the Charge.
And I have to go back to, apologies for that, I have to go back to, you got to get one this season. And it happens on day number 1.
There
I have to
it
go
is.
back to one of the good memes coming out from No Hill, again, the head coach of the LA Valiant. Something he said recently where, what was it? He stayed up 12 hours between 5 p.m. and 5 a.m. thinking about a composition. In the 12th hour, he's like, I got it. This is the comp we're going to play. And it ends up just being the Reaper Zarya comp that Dallas ran anyway. So took him 12 hours to apparently figure that one out. But, I mean, what else is Sasha going to play? The Sasha's like a Zarya play. Of course, I mean, he's their only tank. And this is the kind of wacky thing about the Valiant, right? They have 5 DPSs, but only 1 tank. So something's got to give here. It is a pretty reasonable meta for Session to be playing Zarya. I still do value that Winston way higher, especially on a map like Colosseum or New Queen Street in the case of our previous matchup there as well. As we head over towards our next map at Route 66, probably going to be more Zarya. But, you know, Sigma's been playing here as well. That's definitely within Session's hero pool. Dia still being in as important. As a reminder, Deadlift at Colosseo. Another big hit scan map coming up. Widowmaker going to be a big pick yet. We know Dia's Widowmaker is good.
Yeah, excited to see what they do have pieced together for us, though. As we will go ahead and jump into the new nighttime Route 66. A little easier on the eyes, you know?
Dude, and no one's cleaned up that train nest. I mean, it's been there for like a whole day now. You know? It happened
It's
at
been
high
there for
noon.
a good long while.
Yeah, we
How many
watched the
years have
cinematic.
passed since Overwatch 1 and 2?
I mean, I guess. I mean, they're still trying to clean up Nimbani Airport, for Christ's sake. So,
It's true.
I mean, apparently, we'll see. We don't have Nimbani in the beta, so anything could happen. Dia's going to be starting out on the Soldier for the defense, so no opening Widowmaker. Doesn't want to be locked into that pick. It is going to give Develop the opportunity to play the Widow, though, because he'll see the matchup, know that he's got a very positive matchup in the Dia here, put the pressure on. Things will do pretty well for them. Echo coming through from Becky. We've seen a lot more Echo gameplay coming on through, so pretty standard, I would say.
All right, well, get another look at some Hanzo for just a brief 2 seconds. Swap over to
Just
Genji.
scouting.
Develop coming out with the Sombra.
First Sombra of APAC, and it wasn't
Indeed.
lit. It wasn't even lit. So
Yeah, I thought maybe we could have seen it, but yeah, not to be. Develop now going to make his appearance around the back. Bubble comes out from Sasha just to try to keep Dia protected. They do so quite nicely. Develop going to go back into stealth, hacks this little mini pack for now. Sets up the translocator as the cart is going to be brought around the first corner.
and both teams going with the break here as well, so no Lucios. They really want to be brawling up front with those Zaryas and proccing those Inspires. I'm not the biggest fan of Sombra in Overwatch 2. I think Sombra is actually not that strong. Everyone from the sort of Overwatch League showcase last year thought, oh, Sombra looks pretty broken. There's a 3-man Byronade, by the way, but it seems like Valiant will survive for now. But Develop's been really kind of slowing the damage so far.
Yep. Not really working his way towards an EMP too rapidly here. The times have changed from when you can get one in, about 17 seconds or so. Sitting around the back, Inspector comes up over the top, looks at the beam there, onto Unique, but it's really nice little whip shot. Keeps him safe, keeps him at distance. Drop down on top of Faraway down, he is going to melt. Bombs will find the kill. Now out, Trisay trying to survive, will not be able to do so, ends up falling, and it's just going to be a bit of a spiral effect from there. As Valiant will be able to pick up the rest of the team.
Oh my goodness, Vicky with the good hair there. 3 kills, nearly onto the duplicate. Nano's available for Coldest, and that should probably be, I was going to say, nearly a cap for charge, but ran out of steam towards the end there. Nano was used by Faraway, still looking for the first other ultimate that isn't a Nano boost coming in through. EMP's not even that big. I mean, this isn't Overwatch 1 anymore where EMP will win you a team fight. EMP in Overwatch 2, in my opinion, is very underwhelming.
Yeah. Not nearly as much control and impact as people might be used to. Try to say Juan. Oh, instantly almost getting taken down there. We'll finally have that anti-expire, but as they're focusing on trying to keep Twiz Juan alive, Rio gets isolated, picked off. Good focus damage coming through as Becky does get a Primal Rage. Just checking around the back to see if he can spot Develop anywhere here, but will not find too much else there with that duplicate.
I really do like the Winston copies though, because it's one of the remaining high value copies that you can get, because the Primal still gives you the bonus 500s. You get 800 HP on that Primal. You don't get the full 1200, but it's a lot to work through nonetheless. So 4 ultimates online for charge now. We need to see this EMP go big, but probably the best way for Develop to use this is just kind of solo or duo EMP onto somebody and try and get this assassination kill with Choi. Like this.
There's the EMP, the dive comes in, they get on top of Colas to find the kill. Rally trying to keep everybody else alive as Sashin will go ahead, throw out the gravity. the grab here, and will not be able to survive that. 2 quick kills coming through as Becky just continues to profit from this control with the sticky bombs, and it's another fairly extended team kill. As it's just 45 seconds now remaining, the Valiant very much can pull off this full hold.
Develop needs to, I think a attacking Widow here would be so huge. You outrange the, you put the pressure into Becky, who's not being pocketed by Mercy, by the way. Develop on a Sombra actually has 0 pressure onto any of those heroes. I mean, that's, EMP was actually kind of large for what EMP is now in Overwatch 2. You get the backline, you deal the damage, you have divers dive on top of them, but the grab from Sasha just counters the entire thing. Now we really need the Nano Blade from Choi to go big, but he's been naded.
Yeah, nade out onto 2. Choice one, just trying to hug the wall there and stay alive. Has to pop the deflect as well. Narrowly does stay in the fight. Nano Blade available. Jump up over the top here. They're looking for Sasha, and he's hacked for the moment. Ash comes in. He's still got the bubbles though. Now the Blade is going to be... Well, it didn't take too long, Avril.
It's a Brigida payload moment. It's always the Brigida plays.
It's always the Brigidas. It's always the Brigidas.
Always the Brigida plays, isn't it?
Oh, well.
Would you like a fun fact?
Sure.
I'm going to give it to you anyway, no matter what you were going to say. But here's my fun fact. The Guangzhou charge on that entire attack of 4 minutes only have 1 final blow.
What?
And that 1 final blow was the EMP from Develop, who caught Coldest, and he got landed on. Dia, Becky, Sash, and Langsa all have 0 deaths. Coldest has 1 death, and that was the only player from Valiant that died on that whole defense. That's my fun fact.
So what you're telling me, what I'm going to derive from that information is that the Sombra was the most impactful, because the kill came off the back of the EMP. So the Sombra wasn't the issue in the composition.
True. Hashtag based. Hashtag based.
Good.
I don't know. You have 4 minutes, and you got 1 kill in 4 minutes, guys. What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, God. We, of course, have to replay it. You can see the moment where their hearts broke.
I don't know whose fault that is. Whose fault is that? I actually don't know. Everyone was off the payload.
That was a collective blunder, I think. I was going to say something else, but we'll go with blunder. Anyway, Valiant definitely set up very nicely here to tie things up at 1-1.
Guangzhou's only kill. Rio has their only kill. It's the tank player on the Winston.
Yeah.
Not the DPS, nobody else.
Okay, well, Dia's just going to be swapping it up. Goes over to the Reaper to get a little bit of a scouting report. Becky going to be matching Choice A1 with the Genji. And out we go. Here's another Ashe. Develop going to be looking to see if this can work for him. Dynamite right over the top. Not too much damage to be found there. And for now, Cart going to be moving up relatively for free around this first corner. And that's already about half of the distance that they need to go in order to win this map.
It really is. So 1 good string of good ultimates, and that'll be it. Becky's slow but far away is dead. Develop sleeping. I mean, is it already done? Is it over? There's no more supports?
It might be. Develop's going to be woken up now. Choice A1 getting jumped on, tries to make his exit. And this is Rio. There's going to be 1 last contest. Unique going to be swapping over to the Lucio here, just to try to be a little bit more slippery. Here we go, the cart rolling up. There's the jump in. They can't push him away, so Rio does have the contest for now, but he can't just dip in and out of that bubble fast enough. Ante was on to him, and that is the clear. In not the way that they probably expected, Valiant will be able to answer back with a map win on Route 66. Just, yeah, record time coming up. They get the full hold. They force the, well, I was going to say they force the C9. They definitely don't force the C9. That just kind of happened. And then they get a relatively easy push to victory. And there we go. Tied up 1-1.
Would you, like a very quick, another fun fact before we go to break. And this one's a follow-on from the previous one. I'll just say it because I don't want to take up too much time. But the good news is the Guangzhou charge increased the amount of final blows that they had by a factor of 100%. So they went from 1 to 2. And both of them are on Rio. Rio got the only 2 kills of the Guangzhou charge the entire map. The whole map.
That's a hell of a deadlift right there from Rio.
So basically what I'm saying is, player of the match, Rio, he's deadlift, he has 100% of his team's final blows. That's about as deadlift as you can get.
Well, I've run out of things to say, guys. It's a really wacky, wild world that we live in, but here we are, tied up 1-1. Map 3 is going to be coming up in just a bit. We'll see who's going to be able to take a bit of a stretch lead here as we turn our sights over to Eichenwald. So don't go anywhere. I'm sure the hilarity and the silliness will continue when we come back. And we are back. Oh boy, we had to take a little moment there just to stop from reeling after the events of what we just saw. But hey, the Valiant, they tie the series up 1-1. They've now gotten a map win. Only happened twice last season, so this is already a really good step in the right direction for these guys, who overall are looking really great. Dio, with returning to competitive play, seems like not a day has gone by for him. Continues to put up some solid numbers, and then on the side of the Guangzhou Charge, lots of shenaniganry, I suppose, is the best that we could say.
Yeah, and I think Guangzhou did well on the first map. I mean, you look at Coliseum, Choice at One's Genji was dynamite, but you look at the second map, and okay, maybe it is week 1, day 1 jitters, and teams are still quote unquote figuring things out. I don't know. I think things are a lot more figured out. I've heard some comments like, oh, the meta's not quite solidified. No, that's cap. I think it's fully solidified in my mind. So there's certain things that are just not good. Sombra is one of them. Sombra is straight pee poo poo. Not a good hero. Do not play Sombra right now. Just don't even go there. EMP, legitimately top 3 worst ultimates in the game. The only 2 ultimates I think are worse than EMP is Meteor Strike, and then the worst ultimate in the game is the Bastion Artillery. That means Infrasight from Widowmaker is more valuable, in my honest opinion. Straight up one of the worst ultimates in the game. It's just bad. So no, don't play the Sombra. Do not play the Sombra. I don't know why Charge is playing the Sombra. That's a bad meta read.
Yeah, there's definitely some questions surrounding it. I like your very much paid analyst breakdown on Sombra. Avast will certainly like that one when he catches up on the VODs. But here we go. It's time to wipe the slate clean. We're tied up 1-1. One of these teams is going to be looking to take a lead now, as we set our sights on Eichenwalde. And we'll see what they have prepared for us. Develop's going to be going back over to the Ashe here on the defense. Choice A1 sticking with Genji.
Becky will not be playing the Pharah. That's just going to be some preliminary looks. I think this is still a reasonable map for the Zarya, so we can stay on the Zarya here. Winston is really good. Winston's good on basically all the maps here. It's just how the meta is. Dia will, shake up the rust there a little bit in terms of the grappling. I don't expect him to stay on this Widowmaker either. Like the Soldier will remain as the meta pick. So, what's going to happen here for Guangzhou? Can they get more than 2 final blows? Are we going to get some good team fight wins here?
It's a nice lineup fade actually coming out from Coldest. Flipped on the 2, Rio jumping straight up into the air, and when he hits the ground, he's dead. Well, this is the easiest tracking of my life. Gets unique as well, and oh boy, Valiant explode out the gates, and they are taking point A in record time.
Well, that was fast. Lineup grenade and everything. Coldest will land that one. It forces Charge back. That's not a teamfight winner on its own, but it gives some control and position. You give Dia some space to work with. He's, getting some ult charge in there alongside Becky, who can just run in. Develop's going to move away from the Ashe now onto Soldiers. That's a 0% success rate for Ashe so far on day number 1. They basically play a little bit of Ashe gameplay on A, give up the point, then swap immediately onto Soldier, which is actually good.
Alright, let's see if we can find some value here from Develop. I say Juan, for now, just trying to farm up the blade at the top of the castle, but is getting poked and prodded every single time he sticks his head out. Rio as well, playing on the high ground here, best of visibility. Can't really get on top of him too easily, so for the most part is somewhat safe. Bionade goes out, Langs it instantly disappears. Nice little hit there from far away to set it up. Unique finds the kill, and Develop will get Becky at the same time, so it'll need to be a reset for the side of the Valiant. That allows for the Guangzhou Charge to spread out and make themselves comfortable.
Really important that they didn't really have to spend anything there either. We're still working on ults. Obviously, both teams have a nano available. This nano could go into Choi just to finish off the rest of the blade. We're seeing, again, a lot of dry nanos coming up that don't even get comboed with anything, but you can find Valley with those. Coldest might just want to wait for Dia, though. The nano visor is going to be online. They need to get some positioning, though, so they're going to try and take the inside of castle, maybe push this high ground.
Okay, well, Rio's got everybody clustered together right here. The Bionade comes in again, and that is going to be Langs taken down. 3 quick kills for the side of the Charge off the back of the Primal Rage, and Rio will manage to find another as the team kill comes through. Still 4 minutes to chew through, though, so they have their work cut out for them, but overall, not too bad. Single ult, they get the fight win.
Yeah. Huge single ult as well. Primal Rage in the entrance to the castle. One of the best positions you can Primal. You see from Coldest POV, tried to get the sleep dart, but he's just buffed and pushed around, and you just can't really do anything. Couldn't land that sleep dart at all, so Rio gets maximum pressure. They do not allow Dia to get any positioning for this nano visor, and once again, Valiant will try and force a way to castle.
Pushing their way up top, low HP comes out, but Bio goes down, and Dia, he's got the nano tac visor, instantly finds 2 kills. One of the supports gone, everybody else now having to pull away as Becky gets himself in on top of Faraway. That's the supports out of the fight, and the Valiant now control the cart and start moving forward yet again, getting closer to the bridge.
Yep. And the payload positioning wasn't even bad to begin with. They had the payload at the first proper corner on B, and then, you know, they go for the inside castle play, which once that opens up, you can either go high ground or go towards enemy spawn. Full flank on enemy spawn. Two kills untraded for the most part. Brilliant stuff, and now ultimate goes the other way. Huge kill from Choi. Vicky shut down again, I think.
Yeah, has not been finding too much value when it comes down to the Death Blossoms. Instantly gets taken out. Really good there from Choice A1, playing that out perfectly. And the cart, again, going to be stopped. You get a little decent bit of distance here and still have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to try to complete this, but it's making it more difficult when they do have their ult shut down like that.
Yeah, they have, you know, enough map opened up for themselves because of the payload distance. They can work any part of the map they want to. So indoors for grab, probably the likely position they want to go through. Choi, no deflect, so it's time to deploy the grab somewhere if they can maybe find a viable target. Again, could just be solo onto Rio, because there's not a lot of good targets here that they can immediately find.
Looking at dodging around, Choice A1. Gonna fall low, has to pull back to safety. In the meantime, Sashin just bringing the cart forward. This rocket's not going to connect. Now they have to recontest this as it gets very dangerously close to the gate. Develop. Attack visor into the back. For some targets, but everybody's pretty much eluded him pretty perfectly. Colas, though, falling low. Sound barrier comes in perfect timing to try to keep him alive. Nano out onto 2, or Anti rather out onto 2 as Colas tries to get the Nano up. Jose Juan going to be locked in. Can't grab the wall. He ends up falling to his death. It's going to be a 2 for 2 at the end of things, but the cart cannot continue to advance.
I think if Coldus actually survived there and, you know, he died as the Nano came up, they could have Nanoed somebody and continued that fight. Choice F1 manages to, well, tried his best, really. I think he got caught in the grab, which sent him to his death. Traded for Assassin, who also got pushed off the point, or pushed off the entire map for that matter. And ultimately, a good Bionade from far away, I think, to put the pressure onto Coldus to make sure they couldn't just convert into a further ultimate. So another reset here, 1 minute remaining, develop the opening pick. That's going to be another 10 seconds shaved off, and a lot of map control given over to the charge.
Yeah,
or is it? Because LA Valiant haven't backed out. Valiant is still in castle.
They are. They're going to take the fight to them here. They say, yeah, they're down to support. He's not going to be able to join back in with them very easily. Unique dropping down from below, spots them out, goes back over to safety. Going to get picked off, much like we just saw happen to Coldest. Is now finally joined back in with the rest of the team. Push up here through the castle. Dia trying to help escort them and stop people from pushing out. But here comes the blade. Death Blossom this time for Becky. Does manage to find a belt. The blade out from Choice A1. Cuts down Dia. It's going to be a trade out on the Soldier 76s. Nano now expiring. Coldest taken down. Lengza antied low. Finished off. Choice A1 finds the killing blow, and that should just about be it. Only 15 seconds remaining. The cart starting to get pushed forward just a little bit more here by Sashin, but he's the last one left standing. He's got nowhere to go. Will end up dying, and I think that's about as far as it's going to get for the side of the Valiant.
Yeah, when you have no tanks, huge boop again. I think that was from Unique, and then Develop got the kill credit. Develop still staying alive here. Primal's been popped, so is the visor. It's done. It's dusted. 122.57 meters is what the Valiant will end with.
All right. Really fast hit onto A, but they gum up the works well enough there. Do the Guangzhou charge, slow the roll of the Valiant. And, I mean, that was what, 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes that they had to buy. As far as the time break was concerned, they managed to make it happen. Just across the bridge is as far as they need to go in order to win this and take a lead of 2-1.
So they're in a good position here. I mean, the payload distance is long enough that I think the Valiant will have good positioning to play through for what remains of the map, you know. So A is obviously super playable. If Valiant get anything done on A, that's a major improvement compared to where Charge were defending on A, which is to say that Charge kind of just gave up. A lost almost immediately. No fight even really occurred. Well, nothing of significance occurred. Valiant walked in, took it, wiped it away, done. The problem here is I still need to see somebody make this Ashe work, because to me, I haven't seen it. I'm not seeing it. D is a really good hit-scan player, so he's trusting this. He's believing in it. A bunch of teams have tried this. Can they make this actually work, or does it just get run over? Because so far, it's been run over.
Yeah. It seems like for now, at least, gone are the days of the Ashe dominance, where we would see just, you know, some incredible players come out hitting just nothing but headshots and really wrecking the enemy teams. We'll see if Dia can make it happen, though. It's Develop looking to see if anyone comes floating up over the top of those castle walls, or the house walls there. Not going to happen. We'll swap it back over to the Soldier 76.
And actually, you know, this would have been a good defense for Becky to remain on the Reaper because you can play the Reaper Zarya combo together. I think, you know, these DPSs in terms of the Echo and an Ashe don't work well with the Zarya at all. And well, instantly you see the difference between a Soldier and an Ashe.
Yep, Dia's gone, Lang's out of the fight. It seems like Guangzhou Charge about to have just as fast of a cap as we saw it done by the Valiant. The first tick's already coming in. Cold is dead now on the back end of this one. And the point is very much there. Sashin is trying to make his way back over to recontest it, but there was just no hope for that one. Ends up falling down. The cap will come through, and it's 5 minutes 40 seconds in the time bank here for the Guangzhou Charge.
LA Valiant, Guangzhou Charge, Shanghai Dragons, handshake. Start with Ashe on point A. Do nothing, immediately swap to Soldier, then defend properly. I don't know, it doesn't work with Azara either, so that part I don't really understand. Rio dives in, you would have had a Reaper with bubbles working against them. Rio doesn't care about anything else, and he gets hard value, and now 5 minutes plus to work through on B. They don't have to finish B, but they do have to get to the end of B, so a long defense ahead now for the Valiant. Dia working from scratch, actually already starting to catch up with the develop, so...
Oh, Rio. Well, can't really just go leaping in like that, Becky. Helps cut him down to size, the beam out as well, finishes off far away.
Seth, Rio is like, Krong, where was my bubble? Oh, it's just me, it's no Krong here, my bad.
Oh wait, yeah, I don't have a Zarya to back me up here.
Oh, damn. Whoopsies, wrong game, guys.
Yep. We make some minor mistakes every now and then, you know, it's a lot to get used to. Rio, a little egg on his face at the end of that, but they still have a ton of time to work with here, so I don't think they're going to be sweating too much. The thing that's mainly concerning is going to be the ults. Ready to come up here for the side of the Valiant. Asashin's desperately trying to get that grab online. Becky just fading away. 10% off that duplicate as well.
I was going to say they need to work on payload distance because the initial payload percentage, well, the distance was really poor. Here's the nanoblade now.
Oh lordy, coming, and he's going to dash in there. Manages to find Coldest. That's the supports out of the way now. For the side of the Guangzhou Charge, dash out. Choice A1 narrowly does manage to survive. They lost Rio, but they're still going to be committed to the fight. The sound barrier comes in. Rio going to be looking to rejoin. Choice A1 gets the shurikens through onto Dia's head. Unique finishes off Sashin, and that is an immense amount of space now opened up for the Guangzhou Charge. They don't have much further to go.
No, it's, you know, double supports down, links are Coldest deleted, and the rest of the Valiant are like, probably should save ultimates here. Becky uses Duke, probably wants to change the Reaper anyway. Like I said, it actually works with Zarya, and you can counter Rio. Rio, who, by the way, does a reasonable job of opening up that fight. Had a bit of a meme moment earlier, but we'll forgive him for that one. Dia bubbled, still safe.
Ante goes out on to 3, and we're actually going to have our first pause of the 2022 season here in APAC. Exciting stuff as usual. So, yeah, we'll have to get to the bottom of this, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see which one of these players/teams did the illegal maneuver this time. Who was it? Was it you, Guangzhou? Did you do something bad? Own up to it.
Well, either way, it's not a good spot to be in, because taking a look at the pause screen, I mean, you've got 3 people antied, Coldest and Becky, both with a sliver of HP. Attack Visor's rolling for Develop, Primal Rage rolling for Rio, and the cart is just a few scant meters away from completion of the map. So this, we're probably just going to resume this, and it might just end in the blink of an eye, unless they can really pull a rabbit out of a hat here.
I mean, what would it have to be? It would have to be Sashin gets the guard grab, and Dia, I don't know, Guangzhou all put their hands up and, you know, take the hands off the keyboard and mice and just let Dia 5k them, I guess. Like you said, double supports plus Becky naded. Becky's on 1. Rally's 10% off, but I don't think that's going to be a game changer here. You've already got Develop popping Visor. Primal's already been used by... He's in the middle of his Primal, I should rather say. So, yeah. I mean, Guangzhou would have to... Collectively as 5 people run off the map together to lose at this position. So it should be a 2-1 here, unless something really wild happens.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we've already had just a full-blown C9 on the cart and everything, so it's definitely absolutely possible that something like that could happen again. But something tells me I think the Guangzhou Charge is a little bit more focused into this map right now, as they're very well poised to just go ahead and close this out. Even if we do just come back into this and they do lose the fight somehow, the Guangzhou Charge still are sitting on 3.5 minutes in the time bank, so would still very much have the potential to close it out all the same. So we'll see. Waiting on an update for you guys. Not sure how long it's going to be. I saw that one of the teams said that they were ready, but it seems like it might be on the other team's, you know, on their side, whatever the technical difficulty is.
certainly a big improvement from Route 66. I think that was the map to forget for the Guangzhou Charge for sure. Certainly nothing memorable from my mind, except for the good memes of the 2 frags on an entire map. This time, to be clear, the Guangzhou Charge have 31 final blows instead of 2, so that's an improvement of 29 final blows, and the map isn't over yet. So now we're back into normal Guangzhou Charge gameplay. Don't know what happened on Route 66, like they all fell asleep there. So when I say, you know, the whole team needs to just put their hands up and just take their hands off the mice and keyboard, they did do that on the last map, but now they're actually playing the game.
Well, here we go. We're going to go right back into this game, and I think it's going to be pretty fast-paced right off the rip. Everybody pulled back into the castle for the moment. Sachin playing up on the ramparts, trying to force Rio away with that Primal Rage. They will rejoin. They'll get the contest coming through for now. Grab's still going to be held. Rally goes out from Langston, trying to keep everybody alive. Dia with a sliver of HP. He somehow manages to stay in the fight. Bobo goes forward onto Becky as he tries to get the elimination here onto the enemy. Winston hasn't managed to make it happen quite just yet. Dia up onto the high ground with attack visor, finds Faraway. Develop goes down. And while it looked like it was done and dusted after the curtain lifts, we are revealed to show that the Valiant will in fact be able to hold this off for a little bit longer.
I think we cursed them. That's rough. That's rough for Guangzhou.
There's no way that they could lose this fight.
Well, what happens is, the pause, we unpause, and then Rio's Primal finishes, develops Visor finishes, and the 3 purple players are no longer purple. So I don't know, I don't know. And the rally came through and they won, so that's a legal maneuver from the LA Valley. I demand a restart.
Not going to happen, but they win it out. Still 2 minutes 20 to deal with. Unique going to be taking it out for now. The grab comes out here onto the high ground. Sasha trying to offer up some damage. Does manage to stay alive. They get the kill onto the enemy Lucio. Rio now antied out, falling lower and lower. Will get finished off. Choi Se-wan's only good for a single kill onto Coldest. Looks like he's going to try to make his exit from the castle, but that will not be allowed. Sasha hounds him down. They get the extended team wipe.
Okay.
It's 2 minutes remaining.
Nano Blades online. Choi doesn't whiff these. Surely. There's no way. As the Primal and the Visor coming back as well. They've still got just under 2 minutes to play through. I mean, Valiant have done a great job holding. They need something to work through, though. If Langsa hits an insane whip shot on Choi, then that would probably disrupt and maybe even ruin the entire Nano Blade. So it kind of comes down to Langsa to maybe even Coldest to sleep out that one with a solo come to develop. How does Becky do that? Just finds him on the flank somehow. I mean, that's going to slow things down for sure.
Yep, more time bought. They're going to try to turn this around, though, despite being down a member. The Nano Blade goes out. Unique will find Coldest. Choi Se-wan puts Dia down to size. Put a little bit more damage there onto Sasha. Can't make it happen. Bubble does go out. They're trying to keep Becky alive. Looks like he makes it into the Wraith Walk. Stays alive for a little bit longer, but everybody surrounds him. They finally get that kill. Langset now gone. Sasha way too far forward in no man's land as Rio is bringing up the cart. They need to contest this right now. The push away is coming through, though, and they will be able to force them back. Took a little bit longer than we might have anticipated, but the Guangzhou Charge will manage to make it happen. I mean, such a huge time bank to begin that second phase of the map, 5 minutes 45 seconds. And they do get there in the end, so that's them moving up now 2-1 in a series.
It looked a little bit dicey, though. It didn't happen the way I thought it would, but it did happen towards the end there. Another good Primal Rage from Rio, pushing everyone away. You can see from Spawn, just wasn't enough people to come and really contest. Sashin's too slow. The bubble doesn't protect you from boops. And Guangzhou Charge playing much better on Icon Volta than they did on Route 66.
Yeah. Still a bit back and forth, though. Valiant trying to make them work for it as much as possible. They're fighting tooth and nail, but now they need to win out from here. They need to win the next map to take us into a Game 5 if they want a chance of kicking off their 2022 season with a victory. Otherwise, the Charge poised to potentially just take this in a 3-1. We'll find out what happens when we come back from the break and we get ready to go into that third map. Alrighty, welcome back, guys. We're going into a Game 4 between Valiant and the Guangzhou Charge. Guangzhou Charge now poised to be able to take this series 3-1 unless the Valiant can fight back just a bit more and extend this into a Game 5 set. Coming up next, we have Ilios, so will be a good little first look at control for us here in the APAC region.
I actually don't think this is going to be a good map for Session at all. So we're going to play Zarya on Ilios. Seems like the tempo is going to be too slow there. No high ground control at all. Winston and Doom much better picks, even though Doom has been kind of, I think exposed in the current Overwatch 2 meta. I still think faster than Zarya here, so we'll see what Sash and Valiant do. I think the rest of the team still have a lot to play through. They have a lot of flexibility in their other roles, right? So they could be substituting, but I don't think they are. We are actually, though, instead going to be seeing Krong coming in for Rio on the other end. So maybe it'll just be a Zarya mirror.
Could end up being just that. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind if they just swapped Sashin into a DPS role and then have him play his old famed Pharah. That would also be a nice little callback to his time forever ago in Contenders. But not going to happen. He still will be in that tank slot. But yeah, now we get to see Krong making his return. See how he fares and if he can also pick up 2 kills like Rio did.
And maybe even more. To be fair, Rio got a lot more on the other maps. It's just that one map. And you know what? The other 4 players got 0, so there. Yeah, Guangzhou stepped up.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they did.
It's not even making fun of Rio, it's making fun of everybody else.
All of Charge, all of you. Take a good hard look at yourselves. As we head over to Ilios, I actually think the Krong substitution is like a bailout for Session, because if you kept Rio in, you played Winston, to me you have a favorable matchup in terms of where the meta is on a control map, but the fact that you sub in Krong, now it's very likely going to be probably a Zarya into Zarya bad matchup, unless Krong has got a secret Doomfist somewhere hidden up the sleeve, which is a huge bailout for Zarya, for Session, because he's like, okay, well, I'm okay with the mirror, but something else could be a little bit weird. And you even saw, in my opinion, some of the difference happen on Eichenwalde, where Charge's ability to engage with the Winston and Choi Genji at the same time duo is huge, where I think you really do need to have that extra dive pressure with your Genji to allow that to work properly. The bubbles are great, but the bubble only lasts for 2.5 seconds, and there's a cooldown between the uses that you can put on the same person, so Choi can only do so much with the bubbles. We'll see how he fares now with Krong in the tank position instead of Rio.
Alright, well, out the gate, we'll have the double sim just for the TPs forward, and it looks like Develop's going to be going for the Widowmaker, whereas Dia back over on to the Soldier 76. You're talking up his Widowmaker earlier. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer to really see him put it on display. So, it's really fair now. Develop. Oh, okay. Well, he gets the opening kill. Dia's out of the fight. It's going to be a very nice setup here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge to establish first control of the point.
And Dia, okay, he didn't swap. He wants to just stay on the Soldier for now. No, he's actually going to go with Widow Dia. I didn't think he was going to back out. If I know Dia, I know he's not going to back out easily. He wants this duel, for sure. Develop's already on 42%. Cap's already going the way of Charge.
Starting to, trying to grab it here. Slings up, tries to put some pressure here onto the Widowmaker, gets tagged low. And you dive into the back as well, looking for it, but what a nasty shot. As Develop gets him in the head. Dia, though, on his return, does find far away. Doesn't make that a 1-for-1 as far as the supports are concerned, but now Dia will be felled. Choice A1 gets in on top of him.
And a lot of this gameplay is going to come down to how the Genjis are able to get on top of the respective Zaryas on the other end as well. You see Choi going on Dia, Becky going on Develop. That should continue for the rest of this map. Develop does have quite the edge on the ult charge though, so Infrasight super important for this kind of Widow battle that's going to be ensuing for the rest of this particular sub-map. Krong, oh, okay, well Becky can just get deleted, I guess.
Yeah, he'll just give him the alley-oop setup there, tags him in the chest, and then far away, ready with the shot. Take him down, that opens things up. Valiant still have been occupying this point, now at 35%, so not too bad for them considering how things started this map. Sasha falling a bit low, now has the grab, hits it in, manages to connect to 2. The kills start coming through, yeah, really quick knee-jerk reaction grab, and ends up working out very nicely as Choice A1 and Unique both fall. Krong down on the ground, Dia has a nice little early, easy shot. Catches him in the head. Develop now trying to escape. Looks like he will be allowed to survive.
I mean, that's a huge kill to Krong as well because it resets the energy with Soul Session. Just before was on 100, so he's getting a lot of damage done there. Double grab, both targets get destroyed as well. Develop doesn't get to use his Infrasight. He'll do it now, but he didn't get to use it earlier to sort of give his team a little bit more to initially work with, despite the Becky kill. So huge turnaround, the 4v5.
Dash further from Becky, trying to Force develops position. He does drop a little bit lower here. Oversight now going to expire. Saw earlier, roughly, where Dia was at, but hasn't managed to find him yet. Becky with the blade drawn out will cut down Develop. Finds one that's going to be all that he gets, but now the grab comes in on top of the members of the Valiant, and they will clean him up. Look at it, far away. Still going to be taken down, and Becky and Unique, though. Okay, it's a kill. Supports are out of the fight. They might just be able to hold this. Blade from Choi Se-won needs to be big. He's looking for a target. Dashes over to the side. 10 HP. Grabs the Mega Pack, though. Looking for a little bit more as the OT starts bleeding away. Choi Se-won tags in onto the point. He's just looking at the floor, trying not to offer up his head. Becky actually will move forward and ends up getting taken down. So the flip does come through. They stay alive for a little bit longer.
I mean, in the DPS tank battle there with no supports on either team, it ends up being Choi and Develop working together to get a lot of to kind of win that fight. I mean, they technically won, didn't they? Because they capped with 20% now looking towards the charge. Choi goes over towards the Tracer. They want to come back quickly. They know it's 99%, so they have to fight this no matter what. They can't actually slowly poke away anymore. They have to just engage.
Yeah, any kills that Dia can find is going to be absolutely massive here for the side of the Valiant. Being able to get this flip. Wrong. Some pressure applied to him. Becky's going to go down there off screen. Develop finds a nice shot to the enemy Genji. The flips come back through though. The Valiant are in control of the point. Dia gets Choi Se-won. Lang's going to fall to Develop. Fire Nade's out. Cold is now gone. The supports are out of the fray. Oh, quick shot. He's looking for the follow-up body tap here. Dia moving forward. He's trying to spray him down with the machine gun. He's not been able to do it. Now he's overextended. He's going to fall. Kwong gets that kill. And it's a flip right back into the hands of the Guangzhou Charge.
My goodness, he must have just been crouched in the back corner there using the shrubbery as well. And Dia not really getting the kill. That was a little greedy from Dia. He should probably understand even if he does kill Develop, he'll get traded for that. So at best, it's like a 1-for-1, right? Valiant trying to bite off a bit more than they could chew there. Good save by Krong. And now the rest of Charge keeping their heads above water. But can they survive against the next Nano and grab? It's coming online. Becky's not far off from the blade as well. Here's that grab.
Grab's already out. He's already used it here. Sashin trying to lock them in, but Develop moves up on this flank, catches Langza completely unaware. Takes his head off now, looks for a little bit more. 70% about to be on the board here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. That shot takes Dia so very low, but he does manage to survive.
We're heading towards double 99 here. I mean, you're at the point where the grab wasn't successful for Sashin. Krong and Farway now have grabs on the other end. Lynx got taken down there, so a 4v5 situation. We saw Valiant win a 4v5 earlier, but not this time around. Nanoblade has to be the target.
But Nano's going to be used here on Sasha just to try to keep him alive. He's not been able to get that elimination, but now Becky going to die with the blade in hand, and it is just a sweep here for the Guangzhou Charge. Only lose Unique in the fight. They get the team kill. OT is forced, but it doesn't matter. We'll just go ahead and bleed down. It's 100 to 99% as we wrap up our first round of Ilios.
And unlike Push, you can actually make a comeback on a map like this. So from 0 to 99, 100 on board for the Guangzhou Charge. Well played on the second half of Ruins. Brilliant, you know, kills from Develop to kind of ruin the pacing of the LA Valiant, where they want to make a grab play, they want to engage, they want to do these things, but Develop will just get a kill that kind of messes with their timings ever so often. And then you have at the end there as well, where the grab from Krong comes in. You ideally want to have the nano from Coldest onto Becky for the nano play, but he, like you said, had to nano Sashin to keep him alive because he was caught in the grab. Then Becky doesn't have a nano to use. Becky and Dia both die, and the fight is over, goes the way of Guangzhou. So things are looking decent for Guangzhou. 1-0 so far on this particular Ilios game. So where we're going to go now. Develop wants to give the Ashe another try. Again, it hasn't worked today for any team. Well,
it has not been finding too much value. We'll see if Develop can turn around his misfortunes a little bit here. It is a very major changeup as well. Our first diva here as Krong comes out the gate with this. Pushing forward, sending out a couple rockets here. He's looking to keep himself and the rest of the team protected, but needs to make his exit. Sashin starts getting in on top of him. Becky going to be the first one to fall. Develop does find the kill. There's a Choi Se-won dropping down, trying to get right in on top of Dia's head. Managed to double up. Get a little bit more pressure applied to him, but the bubbles come in to bail him out. Sashin helps keep that soldier in the fight. Point still going to be taken by the Valiant first and foremost. Charge now looking to contest.
Choi Se-won getting pocketed here. That's the big difference, is you're not just seeing an Echo play by himself. You have the Unique coming through from the Mercy as well. Couple of kills being traded back and forth. Sashin with 2 though is pretty massive. Sashin's going large actually. Well, actually, that's the Baby Diva.
On that mech gets Developed. Finishes off the Baby Diva. Choi Se-won though still finding an immense amount of value with these sticky bombs. Absolutely, just annihilated Becky. Sessions trying to get the mid-air right click to connect. Doesn't manage to make that happen, but yet again, this is the Valiant. Even though they lose out on a couple members here, Sessions drags it back, and they do maintain control of the point. Already 40% about to come in.
It's a big job for Dia as well to try and deal with Choice of one of the guys, especially again that he's pocketed by Unique, and he needs positioning to be able to land these shots. It's definitely not the easiest thing in the world. You see Choice of one just flying by. He has a duplicate basically available now as well.
Is continuing to play down onto the low ground here, trying to harass where he can. Krong falling low. Needs to get some healing into that mech to try to stay in it. Dia just annihilate Choice Wan. Far away now dead. Sasha comes up with yet another kill. Well, 1 second contest on the point, not going to lead to anything, and it's a firm hold here for the side of the LA Valiant.
It seemed like maybe Choi and Unique got disconnected there because Choi ended up, assaulting Dia by himself inside that mini pack room. Dia gets his favored 1v1 where he doesn't have to deal with the Pocket Mercy and gets the kill required. Unique can't quite swoop in for the res, loses another player on his team as well. I think Faraway also got deleted, so not much to play through there. It will have to be another 0 to 99 comeback for Charge if they want to win this map, but they do have ultimates, nearly 5 on 9. Well, actually, so does Valiant.
Trying to get in on top, he builds up the pulse bomb, gets the stick there on to develop. See them jumping over Unique, wanting to try to get the res, does manage to do so, puts him right back into the fight. Though falling low, and he doesn't have to self-destruct. He's 1% away from it as he gets team-mexed. Sound barrier now going to be dropped in by Langset. Dia goes wild with the nano visor. Comes up with 2. The Bob is sadly just going to sit here on the point. He's looking for some targets. He's looking to get some kills, but he will eventually make his exit. Doesn't find too much value at all. Sewan goes down. The OT will bleed away, and we go from 100 to 99 into a just 100 to 0 as the Valiant will take this to one final round of Ilios.
I mean, what we can really gather from that is the fact that twice in a row now, Valiant do take it to 99 first. They are the ones in the lead. They have the initial point control, and it's up to the Guangzhou Charge to make the comeback happen. Successful on Ruins, not so much on this map. Choi did his best. I think you do. The problem with this kind of Echo and Ash together is if you're Unique, you have to double pocket, don't you? You have to kind of pocket both players, but you can't really do that because Choi wants to dive in, Develop wants to stay still. And those two kind of, DPSs aren't really going to do too much together. There's not really any interaction there. So over towards Well for the final map now. Devout probably on the Soldier, Dia probably on the Soldier. He wants to stay on the Ash. I actually think Lighthouse was the better Ash map. This one's probably the worst Ash map, but he's still got to play it.
Goes for it. So he wants to be able to take Becky out of the sky. Already the Echo start trading blows here. Bubbles coming out. Becky hits the ground. Fight back up. It is going to be sustained. Kills to be found yet as we still wait for this point to unlock.
Remember, no pocket for Becky. He's not working with the Mercy here. Unique is still on Choice. A huge advantage for Choi in the skies. Becky has to do a lot more to stay alive and get value. Develop sleeping for the time being. That's a huge drop down combo. Comes in.
Yep, they find Dia. Kicking him out, and that might just be Guangzhou Charge finally able to get the first little pickup here on the point. We'll have to just wait and see. Becky going to be sniped out of the sky there by far away. Cap still starting to come in as Sasha comes up with yet another kill, but now he's going to be anti-beamed down by Choice Wan. And I think they're going to have to abandon this fight and go for a little bit of a reset. Becky's going to be swapping off of the Echo now over onto the Tracer. Develop gets rezzed back into the fight. Point still not taken by either side, but yet again, it's somehow going to be the Valiant who pick it up.
Actually, well, okay, they do cap it, but Guangzhou Charge here, I would say Guangzhou Charge probably have more presence on the point currently than the Valiant do. Looking for the counter cap for the time being. You're looking at Choi completely outpacing everybody else. He's nearly on this duplicate. He's got the back line covered, maybe even gets a kill. He does.
Oh, okay, the Sticky Bombs, they hit Sasha. I didn't even see Sasha really there. But he's the one who ends up getting picked off by that. Now the duplicate comes out, goes for the Soldier 76, will be broken out of the duplicate rather quickly by Dia. To give him a little bit of a fadeaway parting gift, but does not find the kill. Anti does go out onto 2 though, and the cleanup comes through as the Guangzhou Charge look to take the lead.
Yeah, it's only 18% this time around, so we've kind of broken the mold. We've broken that trend of the last 2 sub-maps where 99% was found by Valiant. This time around, Guangzhou are going to have the lead, and Guangzhou having the comeback on that first round, and then the attempted comeback on the second. I mean, the fact that they have a lead now is pretty scary. They have a lot of ultimates to play through as well. Choice One didn't get a huge amount of value on towards the duplicate, but put himself in a pretty decent position, did a bunch of damage. It's what you're really looking for. Dia has a visor now, but that's really all that Valiant can hope to get value from.
Becky trying to apply some pressure here in the back line. Getting on top of far away, but the choice they want again opens it up. Pulse bomb there from Becky.
Bubble!
Is going to get bubbled away. Doesn't find any value. Now the grab comes out from Prong, looking to lock them all together. The rally is rolling. It's trying to keep them sustained, but it's not going to work, at least not for Sashin. He goes down, as does Becky, and Prong will just continue to push forward. Right click to the face. Coldest is dead. And the Guangzhou Charge are starting to run away with this map. 67% online now. The Valiant, they need to rally back.
And I mean, Krong has not that much energy to play through. I think 60 was the most that I saw there, but using a bit of nano, getting some damage in, it's enough. Grab it on Surge now goes the other way. Sashin has it online. We're still waiting for that visor to come on through. Lynx are swapping over towards the Lucio here as well, so they know they need to go quickly. It will be last fight territory for sure. Bob will delay this one for quite some time.
Bob now going to be coming through. Develop, however, does die. Tac Visor gets on top of him. Prong with no HP cannot survive. The anti is out on the Dia, but nobody can capitalize. He ends up getting taken. Ends up staying alive and takes out Choice A1. The res already used under the belt, so they cannot get that echo back into the sky. At least not for now. Dia burning down by the dynamite, but the point cap will come through here for the Valiant, buying a bit more time. Not going to fall yet.
Develop dying twice in that fight there as well, so a good recovery from the LA Valiant. I mean, this one could really go the distance. It's match points secured for the Guangzhou Charge, right? One fight, they get the 100% cap, they win their opening match of the season. LA Valiant will be longing for their first win, but maybe they can make this comeback happen because they still have the grab, which will be super important. If they can land that properly, combo that up with the Bioname from Goldis, they're off to the races.
Shots coming in, Goldis getting tagged up. Still hasn't been topped up yet. There's going to be the grab invested. Krong, the focus fire, ends up falling. Coldest, however, caught by the dynamite, does end up dying. 1 for 1, a tank for a support. He'd still favor the Valiant in this moment.
Choi is just
maintain control of this.
I mean, he's kind of just dipping and diving in and out of damage. He's really kind of on a tightrope, isn't he? Just wasn't even getting pocketed by Unique for the most part, but still staying alive, good healing from far away to do so. Speaking of the Ana players, Cold is not having a great time, needs to get this nano underway. We're heading towards 99 now for sure for the LA Valiant. There's the nano.
Getting closer and closer. Pulse going to be lobbed in a bit too far there, does not catch far away. The up, falling low far away, does end up getting picked off with the nano boost here. Prong taken out by the Soldier 76. Dia looking for another target. Just over the side, sees res is used. They put the Zarya back into the mix. It's taken down. 5 members alive right now for the side of the Guangzhou Charge as they look to retake this point. We're into OT for either side now. Somebody needs to cleanly clear
Krong's
this
in
point.
trouble. I don't think he's got bubbles remaining, and the Vice is going to come in through Krong. He just needs to survive. He needs to get this grab.
They're pumping heals into him, and it actually manages to keep him alive for a little bit longer there. Dia, with attack visor, finishes off Choice A1. Unique, dangerously low, far away down to half HP. These supports need some love and care right now on the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Far away somehow, but does manage to stabilize. Actually gets the kill on the Sashin. Rez comes in, they put Choice A1 back into the fight. The pulse bomb goes out from Becky, but he's not going to be able to find anything again because of the bubbles.
Was that an Ajax?
We'll finish off Dia now. Becky's just dashing around, but he runs out of recalls. He's got nothing else to work with, and the OT bleeds away ever so quickly. They're fighting tooth and nail to try to make it happen, but unfortunately for the side of the Valiant, they cannot. Guangzhou Charge will claim it. Ilios, they will claim their first matchup of the 2022 season. 3-1, a victory over the Valiant.
I mean, I might need to see that one again, but I'm pretty sure right at the end there, Lengsa went for a sound barrier in the final second, and he died mid-sound barrier to Choice A1. So there was no sound barrier. You got Ajax. I'm fairly certain of that. I didn't quite catch it, but I heard the sound barrier, voice line coming through. Did not see the green health, so it must have happened. That could have been a fight turn. That could have been a game changer. Valiant maybe could have even clutched off the back of the sound barrier, but Choice A1 nailed them down, and really, to me, was the player of the Guangzhou Charge, as I expected him to be, as I think all the Guangzhou fans expected him to be. He was your star player last year. He remains your star player again this year.
Yeah, incredible performance from him. I mean, just fearlessly. Like you said, tightrope, I think, is probably the best way to put it for the way that he was playing that. Those last few rounds, especially with the Echo, just dipping in and out, knowing his limitations, and very rarely getting punished by the side of the Valiant. So, really great effort from him. Let's see if he picks up the player of the match here at the end. I think he definitely makes a very strong case for himself the whole way throughout this. But, yeah, I think a good sight to see, though. This is a competitive series being played here from the side of the Valiant. They aren't able to get that second map win to tie up their record from the 2021 season, but they certainly look a hell of a lot better here. This is a much more established team. They have a lot of talent to work with. Dia was putting up some incredible numbers the whole way throughout this as well. So I think that for Valiant fans, it is time to breathe a sigh of relief. There is absolutely hope here, and there's no way in hell I think that this loss streak that they're currently on is going to continue for too much longer.
It might be 19 matches, their loss streak, but I'm sure it'll be broken at some stage. They look like a team that has still a lot to show. Super competitive in this series. I do have to say, though, I mean, APAC is looking pretty tough. There are other really good teams in this region as well. Probably, a lot of pundits thought that Guangzhou would be the easiest target for Valiant, so a little bit of concern in towards the fact that Valiant will have to play potentially harder competition. That or Charge have been severely underestimated, and Charge with Choi Se-hwan much better than the Charge that could have happened with Choi Se-hwan still injured, unable to play.
Oh, for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at our player of the match, though, and it's actually going to be Faraway. So second series, here we go. Let's dive in and give it to a support player. You'll love to see it.
Yep, I mean, Faraway recently added to the team, hasn't really even had that much time to get acclimatized with everybody. He only just got dropped by Chengdu Hunters not that long ago. Charge scooped him up, saw a player was available, saw the value that Faraway gave to the team of Chengdu last year, but now gets to be a starter because, Faraway for the most part was kind of playing behind Monk and Chengdu. Now he's actually playing ahead of Molly, which is super surprising because Molly you'd think is maybe the Ana player on this team, but Faraway, great performance today, good stats shown, huge bio grenades, and we remember the clever lineups, the bio grenade assess, all of that kind of good stuff. So, well done.
Yeah, very, very nicely done here by Faraway. And both of these teams, I think another thing to consider is both of these teams have had some somewhat recent additions coming through. Faraway being the one here for the side of the Charge. So, still a lot to work out. There's you got to make sure that you get the groove going here for these players, and that's going to happen with time. So I think there's a hell of a lot more hope for the side of the Valiant to be able to end that loss streak, rather, not their win streak. They would love to have a win streak, end that loss streak, and then get some wins under their belt. Like you said, this on paper looks to be like maybe it was going to be one of the easier matchups for them, but you never know what can happen. We just had the Fusion 3 of Shanghai Dragons in our first series, so things are being pretty wild here in the APAC region so far. Guys, before we go into our third and final match of the evening, we're going to come back and break down some action from that second series in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League, and by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Alrighty, we are back, guys. Just going to chat a little bit about the match that we just saw. Guangzhou Charge, they start things off at 3-1, but I don't necessarily know if it went exactly how they might have anticipated here, Avril. A little bit rocky at times. There's, of course, the Route 66 incident that I think they want to leave in the past from here on out. That might come back to haunt them as a nightmare in future evenings, but yeah, a lot more competitive of a look here from the Valiant, which I think is a breath of fresh air for people who've been wanting this team, have been following them since the very beginning and have been wanting them to become a competitive roster yet again.
I mean, if you've been following Valiant since the very beginning and you're still here, pat on the back to you, you have a stronger mental than most, and the Valiant maybe changing up their roster year on year. This is the second year in a row where we're seeing a completely new roster. This one is, I mean, you don't even need me to explain it to you because you've seen it here. Far more competitive, far better than the one from last year. I mean, you actually have some legitimate star power on this team. We saw a deadlift straight away on the first map. Dia lost to that, but still deadlifted. 12 out of 22 total final points, remember that. The Route 66 incident happened, but I'll call this one the failed Sombra experiment. So, Guangzhou Charge, live and learn. I think one of the key players that I was most impressed by is actually Rio, as we see him on screen currently. He actually had probably, in some ways, to me, a sort of outstanding performance. Not that he's like one of the sickest, Winston's or main tanks that we've seen, but more so that probably quite a few people would have been down on him, like, oh, this is going to be the Krong season, you're not even really going to see any Rio, are you? But I think Winston's, again, very good in this particular meta. Certainly on push, extremely good. I'm not big on the Zaryas on those types of maps. Guangzhou Charge ended up leaning into a bit of Krong towards the end there. I kind of felt like if you just kept Rio in and continued playing that Winston, you probably won, but they managed to make the comeback. They came through Ilios. It was a difficult pathway because I think they bailed out Sashin. That was a point that I gave during the cast. Sashin and Krong had the 1v1s, but Charge ultimately got it across the line through a combination of Krong being himself a fantastic Zarya and Choice A1 just being so unbelievably good on everything he played today.
Yeah, incredible performances. I'd say from pretty much everybody at some point. There was always, a bit of a highlight. It never really felt like there was anybody on either of these teams who was just kind of, straight up playing like they were dead weight. Really great re-debut for Dia. I think Sashin, again, shows that he is definitely a Zarya to be feared. He's had some wonderful impact. A lot of times where it seems like this fight's over, the Charge win, and then Sashin just kills 3 people, and you're like, how did that happen? Well, he's just actually still very, very good at the game, it turns out. So I think there's a lot of hope for both of these teams moving forward. You get that first series out of the way, shake off the rush, get the jitters out of you, and then focus up and continue to just develop the rosters, continue to improve the team play. And I think that both of them very well can put up some solid numbers moving forward. The competition is fierce. It's very stiff. Of course, obviously, we've got the Fusion, we've got the Dragons in this region, but you've also got the Dynasty and the Hangzhou Spark. And that is going to be coming up next. Myself and Avril will be stepping away. We'll leave you in the trusted hands of Vicky Kitty and Trid to guide you through that series, guys. But stay tuned. They're coming at you for that final series of the evening in just a few.